Hey, Internet. Hey, welcome to Bearland, Internet. So, here at Eat Like a Bear, we are a community of people pursuing our weight loss goals. We are a group of mainly intermittent fasters, lower carb eaters, and you often see me around here eating a giant meal like this. Of course, it's more giant because this is almost completely eaten. You can find all of the ways that we eat, all of the information about the eating on this very channel. But today we're talking about something entirely different. And you're wondering, what are those things? Well, most of America now knows that in about a week that there will be a total solar eclipse across the heartland. And we are getting together in person and also digitally because the 2024 total solar eclipse is the moment that we're going to change our lives. All right. And so I'm going to just talk briefly about this because we're all in the process of, packing our bags if we're going to meet up together in the Ozarks of Arkansas. Or you're back there pacing and pondering, working on your own goal. Maybe you're cleaning your pantry. So let's just talk a little bit about this. So in August of 2017, I viewed the total solar eclipse in Wyoming and had no idea what was in store for me. And in fact, I've been reflecting on this story. And in the next week, probably starting on Easter on TikTok, okay, you will see a whole video series from me about the very beginnings of my own weight loss that include the total solar eclipse in 2017 and how I used that moment and it was just a fork in the road moment and the beginning of a whole new phase in my life. And I thought, why can't we all do that again together? And so this is going to be a shorter video than usual, I think. Can I actually speak in short sentences instead of long? I don't know. We're going to find out. I am driving home. I've been very reflective on my own life. What is it that I'm going to do in this kind of before and after moment? Because what each of us can do at any stage that we're at is we can work at making tomorrow a little easier for ourselves than today in terms of the choices, in terms of, all the little things that we need to do to really foster our own long-term health and wellness. And each of us should be thinking about that. And so even though, I'm trim these days compared to 2017, I am still really reflecting on my own life and what I'm going to do and the intentions I'm going to be setting as I view the total solar eclipse. Okay. And so some of us will be viewing it together in Arkansas. I'm really excited about that. And there is a tentative schedule for people who are joining us and want it. If you haven't gotten it somehow fallen through the cracks, first of all, I'm just almost about to change it. So it is a work in progress. And there are a number of things that are up in the air because we don't know how many people are going to be there. And so if you're coming, you should know about it. Okay. And especially if you want to do something like raft on the Buffalo River or zip line, because at this moment we only have 3 official rafters, 3 of us. It's me, Tina, and Jen. And Anne has said that she might. So there could be 4 of us. 4. Now it's going to be crazy. It's going to be cold. We could fall in the buffalo and then just be a shivering mess or whatever, scrambling to get back on our raft. But I'm just imagining that even if it's just 3 of us or 4 of us, that we're going to have the rest of the community there in Gilbert waiting for us to arrive. And they'll either just like cheer us for the badasses that we are, or they'll be like our mamas welcoming us into the warmth. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be really great. Zip lining too, but the way we have it set up, we have like some of us rafting and then some of us over here, like, shopping and whatever else in Gilbert, waiting on the rafters. I think that's going to be fun. Okay. So there will be details about that. But my big concern right now is getting this message out to everybody in the entire digital Bearland that this is the time to clean your pantry, and clean it not just because pantries ought to be cleaned now and then, but with that building that intention of maybe you're clearing out some stuff that shouldn't be in there. Maybe just in the process of dusting and scrubbing and organizing in your mind and in your heart, you're really preparing for what you're about to do. Even if you can't even see anything eclipsing anything and you don't need these glasses, what are you about to do in this before and after moment? And as we all sort of ponder and look at our own lives at the things that we ought to change. And, most of us pretty much know what those things are. And they're, largely unique to each of us. The little mix of them might be unique to us. Many of us have the dirty pantry problem, but anyway, okay, or the bad stuff in the pantry problem. Or, and we'll blame the husbands that they're keeping the stuff in the pantry. Have the husbands put it somewhere else. Okay. Things like this. We should be working on that in this time so that we can really launch properly and with real steam, fire, gusto, all of that. Okay. And so this is such a big focus back. So we have member areas, like paid member areas. Okay. So on that, so we've had a paid area for members for 2.5 years. And we have an increasing offering of paid member areas. I have worked for about a year to get a sponsor for this, okay? And that I have not been successful because it really needs to be the right sponsor. It needs to be in the right spirit. And like the money aspects of all of it need to be aligned. And so I haven't been successful. And so it is a paid member area, and it is something that you will be sponsoring yourself. It is a pretty darn good price. And I feel like that is the alignment of resources that we need, is for us to sponsor ourselves. And in a way that, what we do, what we eat is extremely inexpensive, and there are no like products back there. That's the whole point. If there were products, we'd have sponsors or whatever, right? There aren't. In this meal here that you see me eating, this, I don't know what it cost me, but I know I could buy it easily for $10. $10 a day. I just filled up my car with gas. It wasn't even empty. And to fill however many gallons, it was $80. Okay. The member areas will have a specific focus and added content on all of this stuff, but we will just flow out through the entire barosphere. And everyone needs to be taking advantage of this opportunity. And if you can view the eclipse wherever it is that you are, if it's drivable, go into where you can see the full totality, 100%. Don't do this 98%, any of that. You'll see that in the news. You'll see what I mean. 100%. You need to get in to the 100% zone. All right. The further into the middle you are, the longer it is. Okay. And so this is our big focus. You're going to see in 1 week from now, we will be in Arkansas. We have a weekly live video in the Deep Den, which is every Wednesday at this time. This one is live. Everyone knows about it. But typically the ones in the Deep Den, people not in the Deep Den don't even know about it. And so that's our regular live video time. I don't know that we're having it at all this coming week, next week. That would be April, 3rd or something. But we will have content. It will get scheduled. So keep an eye out, and it will be, live from Arkansas, and you will see lots of bears there. So you typically will see people back here backstage. We're going to see Georgia Baker here in a minute, but this will be, all of us will be together. It will be amazing. And in terms of Deep Den members, there will be integrations into our Project Hub Zoom area as well. And so look for those details, and there will be appearances in the Project Zoom Hub area on Zoom, from people like my dad. Okay, so my dad is not going to be able to go to Arkansas, but this is, as you know, the land that I will be on, and quite a number of bears now will be joining me on this land that was my great-grandma's birthplace. And we only found out that it was her birthplace after we secured the cabins. Anyway, what? Yeah, no, it's crazy. A lot of craziness happening back here. All of this, there's been so many synchronicities and unexpected forks in the road with all of Eat Like a Bear. And that is the spirit of the stories that I will be releasing probably on Easter. But those stories really focus on like the main core year that I lost all the weight back in 2017, 2018, and just crazy. And the synchronicities continue with the example of this land that my great grandma was born on, that I only discovered that point after I had secured it for the eclipse. Anyway, my great grandma is my dad's grandma. And so it's too bad he is not able to go to travel to the eclipse. But travel for him at this point. It's too much physically. And so he will be home, but he will be in those project hubs, and not all of them, I don't think, or maybe, I mean, that's my dad. You see how much he likes to talk. I don't know, Acorns Tree, all that stuff. Who knows? He may talk y'all's ears off, and we may have to get a separate hub link so that he can just have his own. Okay, you're like, beware, that's the one where Amanda's dad is. He's holding court 24/7. Okay, so in any case, just check emails, check the notifications here on YouTube. The long story videos will be for sure on TikTok. I'll probably end up with them on these other channels as well, but maybe not immediately. They're going to go first to TikTok, and that's a whole other story. But anyway, if you don't follow me on TikTok, you might want to. The stories are kind of interesting. It's not at all about how to eat. It is not at all anything about that at all. It is really about all of the unexpected twists and turns, a lot of it that ties into interesting psychology and is some of the stuff that we do discuss in the Deep Den. But none of it is sort of created in order to examine the psychology. It's entirely to tell the story about the synchronicity or the mindset or just whatever it is. Okay, and so let me look quick at comments. Let me get, and y'all get prepared to say hi to George Baker because she's back here. And yeah, Judy's saying, be sure you have subscribed to this channel. And I think there's a way to ask for, like, there's a bell and you can get notifications. And so because we very likely will have just kind of just go live. You know, we'll have a schedule, and we'll have at least one core video probably on Saturday that will be scheduled, and so you'll know about that if you're on these lists or whatever else. But there could be a time or two or three or every day. We don't even know. We will see where we just like go live, just like here we are, go live, and it's just, you know, pandemonium or whatever. It's Judy dancing on a porch. You know, that you never know. I hope you've been practicing, Judy. Okay. Hey, good morning, Tommy and B. Okay. Oh, and Christine in Oregon. That is so great. And Virginia will be holding court for the eclipse in California. And Jackie Pick holding court. Jackie Pick's from Connecticut, but holding court in Atlantic City. And so anyway, let's see. Oh, I'm like, what? Tino? This is Anna Sewell. This is not her husband, Tino. I'm trying out an old iPhone right now for streaming live in Arkansas. And so I'm going back to the house right now. And I was thinking about that too. I have an old iPhone up there and I'm going to get it. And I'm going to put it on my notes right here. So I'm not at my home right now. Don't know if that's obvious, because, you know, when I'm live streaming from my house, it's typically in front of that fireplace with all that quartz. And I'm typing on my list, old iPhone. I'm sure we have an old one, like a, 7 or something. That would work. That would work if we have Wi-Fi. It doesn't have an SD card. Yeah. So who knows? Who knows what all craziness might come up on these live streams? We can hope. I have no idea. Gosh darn it. This is nuts. There are just a crazy collection of people going to show up. So we're not big. We're not a big group, but I dare say, whoa, maybe it's for the best. Maybe our group might have changed the actual rotation of the earth. What's the song? Anna, help me. You know what I mean? Queen, Fat Bottom Girls, make the rock and roll go round. That's what I mean. And so there could be so many of us there. We might have, had some kind of astronomical impact. Oh my golly. Geraldine is in Louisiana. Geraldine will be holding court from Louisiana, maybe gabbing with my dad, and Virginia out here in California. Here I am saying Virginia is holding court in California. Virginia, my dad is like, I'm sorry, I am holding court. Like, Dad, I can't even get him on Zoom at this point. I'm going to have to go by his house. That's one of my other projects this week. So, all right. Oh my goodness, everybody. And hello, Christine Fraser. Christine, do you want to raft on the Buffalo River? So that's something to check on. And wait, Kathleen, are you meeting up with us there? I'm trying to remember. Why am I thinking that? We've got lists. We've got like we're working on all that stuff. Okay, we're getting the lists. But anyone on the list or not on the list who's showing up and wants to raft or zip line should let us know because we will be nailing that down. And let's see. Hey, who you calling crazy? And so Jackie asks, live streams to where? Okay, so Anna is working on, so Anna's going to be like the voice of Eat Like a Bear. Okay, so if you see this channel here on YouTube with a live video coming and you're like, Amanda's gone crazy. Look at what she's live streaming. I'm just going to right now say, I'm sure that it would not be me being that crazy because it would be on Soul. But Jackie, well, this is why we set up the special Facebook group just kind of in advance of all of this craziness. Okay. So live stream, you can always live stream into there. And we can and practice now. Let's see that's what this week is for, Jackie. It's to practice. Okay. To get a little fire going and all that. Show us the pantry you're cleaning. Or maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, okay, Kathleen, staying in Marshall. Okay. And with, okay. Oh, right. Yes. And you have adult kids. Okay. So, okay. We are looking at rafting on the Buffalo. I have to look. It's either Thursday or Friday. I think it's Thursday. And so, depending on when you all are coming in and what your interests are and stuff, and if your kids even want to be seen with, our set, you know what I'm saying, or just you. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. And so Jackie says, yeah, she has to get dressed. How about that, Jackie? I don't know. I'm not sure it's expressly required, but maybe we don't want nudity getting a shutdown in Facebook. But we've had many sightings in pajamas there in the hub, so there's really no standard. Very, very little standard. Oh, Sue. Hey, Sue. Hey, you're going to watch it from Rhode Island. That is amazing. That is really, really great. And so you guys, so the further north you go, the higher chance of a cloud cover, but there's a high chance everywhere, every flipping where. And what we need to be ready for is to not be disappointed if we can't see it in its complete awesomeness. There will be, so even if there's clouds there, which I am, I've put my dad in charge of like just praying for good weather. I'm going to say we needed that dad all the way through New England. And so work on that. I'm telling him he needs a project. What can I say? But should there be clouds where anybody is, there will still be changes that you can experience. The wildlife still react to an eclipse. The darkness will be there, but what you see in the 100% totality is when that moon covers the sun completely, you can see the solar corona with your naked eye, and it is unbelievable. It is such a complete physical experience. And so, for instance, Sue, if your area is in, say, 90%, 97%, and everyone's like, oh, it's almost totality, it's good enough, you won't be able to see the solar corona. You need to get into that 100%. And the closer you get to the center, the longer it is that you will be able to see it. And up in New England, that center line gives you a little bit less. It's still a really good amount of time, a little bit less than people see. There's a point in Mexico, I believe, where it is the longest duration of totality, but we're all getting a lot. It is just really, this is like the generous eclipse that's very wide in the part of geography, that it's affecting, where people can view it. And the big thing is it's that cloud game. It's a cloud game. That's what it is. And so let's see. And so Jackie, yeah, so we need to help me remember, Jackie, because if you see me not doing it, it's because I've just been so scattered. But we need to get an email out. I think I've said it in an email before about your thing, but we need to make sure to get that out again. And I'll say I feel a little bit sometimes like Big Brother with email, because what I'm able to do is I can find people who are in a certain number of miles from Atlantic City and then send them an email. You remind me, help me remember, and we'll do this. We'll get it going. Okay. Um, yeah, and Sue, the animals. If there's clouds, okay, so the animals in 2017, we were just adjacent to a very large field that was just planted in native grasses. It was just a grassy field. And I was quite overweight then. So I was maybe down 20 pounds. I was 260 pounds. I was limping. I had injured my knee. I was limping all season. And there's video footage of me, bless my heart, okay, limping around, weighing 260 pounds. I was tired, guys, as I was there with my family, all that day, just waiting for that eclipse. I was tired. And there's this footage of me just limping, tired. I was tired. And in the minutes before the eclipse, before totality, my son said, "Hey, I just want to go out into that field, Mom. Can I go out there?" And I'm like, "Okay, but you got to come back and experience the totality with us." And he said, "Oh, no, I'll be quick." And so he ran out into that field, and out in the field, in the minutes before totality, he found crickets just jumping around, all around out there, all around. And they quieted down and went silent in totality. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. Okay. That effect will be there, clouds or no clouds, because the crickets weren't looking at the solar corona. They were just experiencing this change. So they're coming out like jumping, dancing around. He saw that. He saw that. I missed it. And I missed it. It is something I would have done. It's like I have that kind of adventuresome side. I like to think I do. I would have been out there with him, but I was tired. Okay. And as he reported that to me, and as we made plans to view the 2024 eclipse, I've said, I'm not missing that. I am not missing that. And so we have access to land in Arkansas that has such a diversity of areas that are natural, that are quiet. It's in a dark sky area. There will be no light pollution. There will be pretty much no people pollution, because it is not going to be a very crowded. It's us on 1,000 acres, and we will have potentially a diversity of experiences in that eclipse, or maybe we'll all be together. We can decide. Each of us can decide. And then we can share those experiences with each other, and then other people in the region, and then wherever it is that you're viewing it, we want to hear your experience too. We have an opportunity to hear all kinds of cricket stories, but what do cows do? I don't know. We may be about to find out, because there's definitely a lot of cows in Arkansas, and so this is going to be amazing, you guys. This is going to be really, really amazing. Oh, and Jackie, I love your plan. Jackie says that if it rains, we gamble. Yes, that's right. That is right. Exactly. See, that's the thing. And I just feel a little bit like sometimes this whole uncertainty can go either way. We can get all worried and upset that maybe it's going to be cloudy, or we can say, whoa, we don't know. Is it going to be cloudy? Is it not? The annular eclipse in October, Frederick and I went to, and we viewed at Crater Lake, and it had a 50% chance of cloud forecast. And pretty much the whole region did, or maybe Crater Lake was even higher. And so we knew it was probably cloudy, but the whole region was very cloudy. We couldn't get to a not cloudy area. And we thought about it. We looked at the maps, we made our plans. And finally, I just said, look, this was the place that we thought would be the best place to view it. Let's just go. Let's go. And it was amazing. Yes, it was cloudy. But the clouds actually began to move a little bit during totality. And as they shifted, we got little glimpses of that eclipse. And it was extraordinary. All the more fun by the point that those clouds were kind of playing with us, and then gave us that little payoff here and a little payoff there. Truly an amazing experience, that it would have been so easy to just be caught up in the negative and to just miss it entirely, miss the moment because we're just all negative. No, we had such a great experience. I don't know what Arkansas holds for us. I don't know what Atlantic City is going to hold for Jackie Pick. I don't know what what Rhode Island is willing to pursue. We've got bears in Texas. We've got all kinds of people all over the place. Let's see, Deneen is going to be what in Ohio, and we have people all over, like Indiana, Ohio, all of that, and upstate New York. It goes through Rochester, I believe, and I'm just, who knows, but I'm here for it. Okay, so oh, let's see, and let's see. Reading for fun. Hey, reading for fun, who are you? Okay, so hi, down in Texas. I sure would love to be there. We could drive home on that Monday from Southeast Texas to Minnesota. Oh, yeah. Oh, so you're going to view it in Texas, but you're from Minnesota, maybe? Whatever the case. Guys, traffic on the day of the eclipse will be crazy. And especially if there was then open, not clouds, and everyone goes to those areas, getting out will be nuts. Completely nuts. Completely nuts. Okay. Um, and drives like that, like just stay over. Just stay over. So, yep. Okay. So I've yapped for a long time now. I've yapped so long that now we have Brenda. So we have Brenda to yap to, and we've had Georgia ready. Okay, so let's bring up Georgia. I'm going to bring them both up. Let's welcome Georgia and Brenda, who are back busy packing their bags because we're about to go do it, you guys. Can you believe it? Can you believe
Ready. I'm ready.
Okay, so I want to hear from each of you what you're doing this week to kind of prepare your mind for the changes that you're going to be making April 8th.
Well, I know for myself, I was challenged by somebody to make a little goal, maybe a 7-week challenge or just a small challenge to where it wasn't like humongous. So last week, it was my goal to walk every single day. I know there's going to be a lot of hiking, there's going to be a lot of walking, a lot of activities going on. And I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of that. I don't want to be the one that has to stay behind and go, hey, gum, I wish I could go. So this week I have pushed through it, hurting a little bit. And I've walked up and down our private road that we have, and which, yesterday, day before yesterday, I walked over 2 miles. And and I've been giving in because my mobility has declined a little bit. So I've kind of been giving into that. And I have put it aside, put it in the back of my head, and made up my mind. You're going to get out and you're going to do this. You can do anything for one day. You can do anything for 2 days. You can do anything for 3 days. And so it's like I added on. So I've had a whole week of walking every single day. I thought I was going to take a rest day yesterday. I did not take a rest day yesterday. I walked every single day. And it was just like, wow, who is this person? She's not given into it. So it's like I've pushed myself. I've hurt, but I've let me do a little bit more, do a little bit more. And one of the hills on the road that we go up, it's not a humongous hill, but when I looked at it, it was a 50-foot elevation on my pacer thing. So I know that's not shabby. And I didn't even realize it. I was looking at the ants walking on the dirt because I have to watch where I'm going because I'm very unsteady on my feet. But I was watching the ants and looking at the rocks and looking at the flowers that are on the side of the road and the cows walking by us. And oh, golly, that fence needs to be fixed. I was focused on other things beside the fact that I was hurting. And I think that that's what made me get through it. And I'm going to do the same thing this week. One more week, and I'm going to push it every day to get farther because I want to go see the waterfalls. I want to go. I can't go on a massive hike, but I can get out with my sticks and I can walk. So that's what I'm focused on.
Well, and so Georgia, so as I mentioned to you privately, and I just want to say this to anybody else, that you need to have that balance and obviously protect yourself from injury and not overly do it. And you'll see in the stories that I'm working on for the story series is the year I got skinny, and there was that phase where I was out, but I was limping around and I could not hike at that point either. There's no way I could have done it. But I was out at those trailheads and I basically I would park the car. Frederick would go out and hike however many miles, and I would just hobble along right up at the top of the trailhead, close enough that you don't make too much of a commitment. And that's what I was doing. And that was it. That was it. But the key thing with it was, and this is what we all need, my heart was out there. I was engaged in it and it was just filling me and it was helping me stay focused on that goal that I had. And that was so impactful for me. And as I worked through, because I just recorded this part of the story yesterday, I realized how important it was. Had I not been out there and engaged in that, there would have been some things that then came up. And wait for the story. This is the commercial for the story. Some things that came up that I would have been completely soul crushed and just that would have been it. But it was because I was out and because I was just like so focused on that. And so that's what I see for you, Georgia. You're going to be able to see the waterfalls because the way we have the trip planned is that there are going to be things that anybody can do with any kind of limits or whatever, or medium or large, just anything, and to help us get engaged and stay engaged. And we're going to just be there, just like doing this, right?
Oh yeah. It's
Yeah.
going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. But anybody that's got, I just like you challenged me and like Papa Rose challenged, you've got to get up every day with a purpose. And if you do that, it's a little bit easier to work towards that purpose, but you need to have the purpose. So,
And need to kind of keep it. It's so easy to lose that as days get hard, right? And so how do we keep it here? And I still look back on 2017 and say, how did I do that? And there were these forks in the road where it's not obvious. Like, how did I stay engaged? That's
mhm,
amazing. And so I really like to look back on those times because I don't want to take it for granted. What was it that I was doing that had me do this instead of this? And this is one of those things, Georgia, as I look back on it, is being out there and living in that big goal. Again, at the time I would have said, well, I'm just limping around out here. What the heck?
mhm.
But it was so much more than that. Yes, I was limping. And anyone like, what's that, fat limping woman doing out there, right? But
Yeah,
I was engaged. My heart was in that. And interestingly, there were some people out there on the trail who said some things to me, nice, amazing things. Wait for the stories coming Sunday.
yeah,
Um, that I feel like they helped to just reinforce that we should be talking about that too. When you see the stories, say like, whoa,
yeah,
that it was two separate men, in fact, which, wow, that in the way that they talked to me and just like I was just normal and belonged out there.
mhm,
What? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Who thinks I belong out there? I
mm,
didn't really. I wanted to. I didn't. They treated me like I belonged out there, and
yeah,
that mattered, you know?
yeah.
Okay.
And so much of it is mindset. When I look at well, like other bears, you look at Geraldine, all her struggles. I mean, her health issues, and she still has an attitude in the morning. I'm going to get up and I'm going to conquer this day. And Virginia, you know, d- those I had so many mentors when I first started. Besides you, I mean, there was Sarah, and all the people that really touched me and helped me get through the hard parts. And now it's like, since I'm coming back into that mindset, I have a new set of mentors. And it's mindful mentors this time. Virginia and Geraldine and Sue and all the ones that they make a difference every day because of the way they look at things. And that's the mindset that I've got right now, and it's going to take me places.
It is going to take you places, and pretty much it's our only play. Now it's a hard play, but it is the only play that we really have ultimately. There will be so many things that come up in our lives that that we just have to at least get in the practice of that. So when the super big things are coming up, we're hopefully ready.
Yep.
But sometimes it's those super big things like George is going through now that then kind of push you into, oh, I didn't have as much time to get ready as I wanted, and now it is time. Because yeah, it's all we got. It's
Yep.
all we got is the
Yep.
mindset. Yep. Uh, Brenda's muted, but Brenda, tell us how you are preparing, because I know you've been preparing for weeks by packing up for the car.
I'm completely packed. Everything is packed. Everything is ready in the hallway. I have my outfit to wear on the day on top of the stuff, so I'm good to go. I have yeah, I have a Sharon. That's what I was going to say. I have a Sharon, and Sharon pops up.
We all need a Sharon. All of us. We need to figure how are we going to find Sharon. Each of us. So Sharon, you've become a thing. We now have a bear term coined after you. So we need a Sharon.
She contacts me every day on on Messenger. Is like, what are you eating? Have you eaten? Are you eating? What's for today? Or have you moved? Or she just prods me along because I need a lot of prodding. Really, I do. But I am so excited for this. I mean, I'm excited, a little bit scared, a little bit excited. So, I haven't left home on a trip since 83.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Okay. We need lots of so just, I don't know, maybe you need to live stream your whole trip.
Now,
So,
it's going to be crazy because Sharon put me in charge of music.
very good. Very good. Well, this is amazing. And who knows? So now if you end up worn out that's a long old trip, but you'll have good gigs to just hang and you can hold court, Brenda. You and Sharon can hold court on that porch and just drink coffee. Some of us might be drinking some coffee.
I have to warn everyone, no stealing my Sharon.
That's right.
No, it's been 3 weeks since I've fallen. So I'm now 3 weeks with no falls. My dizziness is getting under control completely. I'm doing my daily exercises. I'm counting off my days, even when I bloody well don't feel like it. I'm going to be done with all antibiotics by the time I leave. So I'm just checking off the days, people. I've almost got my leg done. I made it to the knee for my giraffe that's going with me. It's been a 3-legged giraffe for quite a while. So I said, well, you know what? I'm going to have that done before I leave. It's going to be done. I don't know. My grandkids asked to come stay with me before I leave because they're with their mother, and they're like, but she's going to be gone for 2 whole weeks. And they're like, how will we survive? And I said, you'll survive just fine. You're teenagers.
Totally. Totally. Yeah. Okay. And Virginia says, I hope you have a little gathering where everyone introduces themselves. We're going to have to do that, and maybe a couple of times, because not everybody's going to be at everything. And so we need to make a special point of that, Virginia. I think that's a good idea. That's a really good idea. And I was thinking about, okay, we need to make another video like we did a few years ago, Georgia. Remember that one, the strong, you can do it video that just, and it will be there. We have this diversity of stories. We just have a diversity of, starting points and all that. And we're in the demographic that everyone says we can't do it. And so I just feel like that's the most powerful place to have this kind of message. So we need to do so we'll definitely have people going on, whoever wants to be on a live stream to just say a little bit about themselves, but we need to capture some just like um, footage. I lost 27 pounds. I'm looking for 13 more, whatever it is. But yeah, I'm 58 years old. Never thought I could do it, but if I can do it, you can do it. That kind of thing. And Georgia, that um, my goal is to walk down to this thing, and I now can take X number of steps, and I'm working to the rest of it. And if I can do it, you can do it. So that just anything like that fits any of those different categories, and just this compilation of everybody and all of our awesomeness and all that. Amazing, amazing, and it's just a beautiful time. The pictures I'm seeing out of Arkansas are gorgeous. I'm driving up into the foothills right now to the house, and it is just the absolute perfect time of year. Unbelievable, unbelievable. So, okay. So Virginia says I'm now doing what I call the Georgia Mile every day. Maybe that's its own video. I'm doing the Georgia Mile. Look at me doing the Georgia Mile. Well, tell us more about the Georgia Mile, Virginia. So it's a mile, I assume. That's amazing. Okay, and Sue is headed out. Good to see you, Sue. Haven't seen Sue in a while. Wonderful. Okay. And Grace, hello, Grace. Oh my goodness. Okay. And yeah, question about, are we going to have name tags? Well, and then Jennifer says, yes, we'll have name tags. Well, definitely. And so, but we're not that big. We're going to get quick at names. But then, you know what? Maybe our brains need name tags to just be sure. Yes. Okay. We have so much awesomeness in our brains that we also need help remembering the names. Yes.
I don't know if you saw Judy's comment, but Judy, I promise wholeheartedly that I will be dressed at all times, unless I'm in the shower, and that's different.
That's right. So we do promise that any live streams coming out of Arkansas will at least have minimum clothing in them. We should totally start a rumor. I feel like we need a rumor, whatever it is, and just make it big, make it real big and just outrageous. We'll have to revisit the baloney footage.
Naked baloney.
Yep.
I'm good with outrageous.
Oh, so Virginia says, Georgia inspired me so much by taking baby steps to get to the other end of her driveway. So I now walk to the end of my road and back, which is a mile. I love it. What is something that each of us, because so I can get out and hike a big hike, but the reality is I don't necessarily do something every single day. And maybe that's what I need to do too. So maybe I need my Georgia Mile too, that is like, regardless, if I'm going to be a fuddy-duddy and sit here at a computer, that it doesn't matter because I'm doing my Georgia Mile. Yep. There you go, Georgia. Doing the Georgia Mile. Maybe that's footage. We have a place where people could submit footage, and maybe we could be asking, let's think about just in the next 2 days, you guys, because I feel like we're going to have all this energy. This is the time to get in and all of us go out and get this footage. And there's a way that we can capture it. So Virginia and California could get a clip of herself saying, I'm doing my Georgia Mile every day. Georgia said she does this. And so I am doing this, and look at me go. And then she submits it. And then we could do a compilation of that too. Now, Georgia's internet has gone out. So if you guys all see, so Georgia, the way we're seeing you is your screen froze, and boy, you look, boy, you're real sad. So here we're talking about you and the Georgia Mile, and we got Georgia frozen on there. But I guarantee y'all that Georgia's not frozen back there, but her internet is. There we go. Okay, well, now, hey, Brenda, do you have the equivalent of a Georgia Mile, I wonder?
I have my, I guess it's kind of like a mile, but I have to do my exercises twice a day for my balance. And I'm learning to stand on one leg without falling over, tree pose. And I have to get up and down. I've got the ball, and I have 4 different poses that I need to stand and sit down. I do 50 times each pose. So I'm doing 200 up and downs on that stupid ball, which, believe me, I can feel it in my thighs. And then I also have the balance ball. What's it called? A bocce ball, whatever. I have to stand on that. And I try to stand on it 15 minutes every day with, not falling over, tilting, and being able to use my feet to move everything. And then on Tuesdays when I go to physical therapy, he pushes me around with his hands with my eyes closed so I can't see where he's going to hit me from. I have to automatically use my feet to not fall. So we've been getting it's been serious for me being able to walk and stay focused while I'm on hills and, uneven trail all the time I'm going to be in Arkansas. So, and I started out with 10 and now he's got me at 200. Okay. Up and downs on the ball. And then because I got to where I could do it pretty easy, he's changed the size of my ball to medium so that I have to go down lower. And it's like, yeah. I mean, he got me straps for my feet so that I walk side to side and in a shuffling motion with the bands around my ankles. And so it's probably more than a mile when you put it all together. So
yeah. That's Judy's comment. It'd be easier to walk a mile than what you're doing, Brenda.
Yeah, but I'm dead serious. I'm not going to fall at all in Arkansas, and I'm going to be able to walk in the grass, and I'm going to be able to walk on the hills, and I'm going to be able to follow everybody. And, and Sharon and I went to my grandson's football game, and we just were all over Hell's Half Acre, and I didn't even lose my breath. So this is like I have been in a, I don't know, Olympic training for this trip.
And do you use trekking poles, Brenda?
Sharon and I went and we bought a walking stick for us. I don't use poles, but we have walking sticks to use. And
yeah, good.
but I've been walking without anything and doing good because they just have really helped me to learn how to balance myself, even though I'm still not, I still have the ear to brain connection still making me kind of wonky, but I'm not falling anymore.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And I just want to put up Rosie's comment too, that she's on the Georgia Mile and she says that a year and a half ago she was unable to walk. And so Rosie, how far are you walking now? Because I remember you submitted a video, gosh, was that a year ago? And you were halfway down the block or you were going to get down the block in the year. So I'm curious, like in the measurement of the block, how you're doing. If
Jackie's doing the mile too. Jackie Pick.
Let's see. And Kelly asks, is there a place we can follow along with all the fun you're having? So Kelly, we talked about that earlier in the video. And so just stay up on the notifications here on this YouTube channel and any related emails, if you're on the email list, if you're in our member areas and have access to the experimental Facebook group that we just had, there'll be a lot of, so this one is like the main account. There will be stuff coming in from this main account, but things like Brenda's Adventure Inn and stuff like that, I expect would end up in that group. It just for various other purposes. So, so just keep your eye out because we'll be all over the place, just bubbling up with excitement. Yes, and especially if you're on the email list, I'll be emailing about that. Yeah, YouTube is really good, and Rosie all the way. That I how amazing is, I mean, let's take a moment. Okay. Let's just take a moment here on this world that we're in. This is just spectacular. Wow. And let's see, Grace walks a mile as well. Okay. Whew. Okay, guys. Well, we're going to break here because Deep Den people go into the Project Hub now in 9 minutes. So we'll take a little break and go in there. Of course, I'm not going in there because I am driving through the foothills I am going to be home because I've got to get back there and actually pack to go to Arkansas on Tuesday.
I want
Wow.
to say it takes a village. I'm finding it really does take a village. And for me, the den is my village, you know, and I'm looking forward to meeting all the characters of the village when I get to Arkansas, or at least as many as I can get a hold of and squish.
Yes, 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 yes. Ooh, amazing, amazing, amazing where we found ourselves. Okay, and that's the spirit of the stories that I will be. So my stories coming out on Sunday. Part of that, a big part of that is me kind of reflecting and processing on my own life. And so, like I've said, this is our time to reflect and to get ready for April 8th. And my questions now, like at the last eclipse, I was so focused on what would essentially be eating when I returned home. And I've really challenged myself to think about kind of my next phase in life and what it's going to look like. And so I've really been looking back on these past 6 years and from kind of a macro point of view. And that's kind of the stories are helping me see some of these things that I kind of knew about them. But it's helping me process them a little bit more. But there's also a few little nuggets that I guarantee y'all will be new to everyone here because I haven't told them. I don't even know if there's one that I don't think I've told Anna Sewell, just to tell you, because we're in person, right? So I can spill the tea with Anna easily, anytime, any place. But there's one, and it is about the origin. I'll tease y'all because look for it. I'll put it out on Sunday, I think, and it'll be on TikTok. And there's an intro video, but then the first episode after the intro is called, I can't remember what I called it, but it is about the origins. I feel like it is the very, very beginning of this because, my big goal has been to hike. Did you guys know I never hiked before?
Wow.
How is it? Because usually it's that, oh, back in my 20s, I used to love to do this, and I want to recapture my youth. That's not my story. How did I get a big goal of hiking? That it would drive all of this that we're seeing here, my entire story, everything else. Where did that goal come from? Well, you will hear a very interesting, let's say that I do think in the story as I tell it, that it came from a supernatural source. So y'all will have to wait for that. And I'll already get the questions like, is it this denomination or that? It's none of them. Okay. It's all of them. It's none and all at the very same time. And you'll say, what? What? I don't care if you're an atheist, you're going to say, what? Because it's that interesting. The little details of what happened are that interesting. So that will be Sunday, Easter Sunday. I just need to get it out before we get to Arkansas. That's why it's going to be Sunday. It just happens that it's actually Easter. Okay. And so, and yeah, so, and I started because Frederick inspired me. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And there's so much more to the story. You will have to wait until Sunday. Okay. I'll send out an email that said, hey, here it is. It's starting. Here's the stories. They're starting. Okay. Okay, you guys. 4 minutes ago, I said we were ending and going on a break. Okay. That's how we roll here. All righty. Hey, everybody. Let's see. And Jackie Pick says, so in Atlantic City, meeting on, it's Monday, April 8th at 11 a.m. at the Hard Rock Cafe. That's awesome. That's awesome. Meeting at the Hard Rock Cafe. Good for y'all. Okay. So, okay. And we'll get something out on that, Jackie. Okay, cool. And yeah, guys, how amazing. We are all pacing and pondering, and we are all setting, our goals for our, what we're launching April 8th. And these days leading up to it, this is not like the time for a bender or whatever else. This is the time to be really deep and reflecting and working through some of those barriers and getting in front of some of those so that we can really, really have an impact on our own lives, each of us, in April, May, June, and forever. forever and ever. And so, guys, see y'all. A bunch of you about to see each other in the in the project hub. Okay, and yes, stay tuned for all the announcements that are coming surely very soon. Okay, you guys. Bye bye. Take care, everybody. Ending now. Sayonara.